Good morning, everyone. My name is David Tates. I'm the chairman of the board of PSC Credit Union, and I want to welcome everybody to the annual meeting. It's actually the 60th meeting of this credit union, and I had to go back and look, and I'm proud to say I've been a member here for 42 years, so I do have some history here. I wanted to start out first by introducing everybody that's sitting up here in front with me, and I want you to thank them at the end for all the efforts they put in during the past year. On my far right here is Bob Vassell, one of our board members. Next to him, we have Dr. Karen Newman, and we have Dale McMahon. Next to Dale is Cheryl Schill, Vice President of Lending, who's sitting there very stoically. And next to her is Darlene DeMarco, the Vice Chair. On my left here, we start over on the left here, we have Steele Nolan, who's not here today. And next to where Steele would be sitting is Steve Cosmos, our board member. Next to him is Bob Moulton, board member. Next to Bob is Marty Vaggie, the audit committee. Next to her is our treasurer and board member, Ken Netzel. And then right next to me on my left here is Jan Thomas, our president and CEO of the credit union. To start off correctly here, I am going to ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the 2015 board meeting. Do I have a motion on the floor? Okay. Is there a second to that motion? Okay. And all in favor? All right. Thank you very much. At this time, what I'd like to introduce is the vice chair of the credit union, Darlene DeMarco. Yes, I will.
Good morning, everyone. And again, welcome to PSE's 60th annual meeting and the continuation of our 60th anniversary. Can you hear me okay? Little bit? Is it on? Okay. Okay. I just want to give you some history of myself. But when the credit union was about 10 years old, I became a member. I was newly married to a new teacher, soon to be parents of twins, and we needed a car. We joined the credit union, we went on payroll deduction, started a savings account, and I talked to a very friendly loan officer, Kitty Lazar. At that point, we got our car and many loans to follow, from education loans to home improvement loans, and even in the early years to get help pay for groceries. It was a comfort for me to know that the credit union was there for us. I closed my account at Cleveland Trust, another name out of the past, and I never did any personal business at a bank again. I thought the credit union was the greatest thing since sliced bread. When the credit union was 20 years old, I became an employee. Now I was at the other side of the desk, and I had great satisfaction of being to help that teacher with a car loan, a city worker with a home improvement loan, and all their children to get student loans to further their education. After 25 years of employment, and when the credit union was 45 years old, I became a board member. I'll save you from doing the math. I think I was about 10 when I was hired at the credit union. But as a board member, I became part of the process to make the decisions and the policies to continue the belief for all members that the credit union is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Through all those years, there's been a lot of changes in the credit union. One thing that has not changed is the people part. We still give personal and professional service. Other things have changed, which I'm sure everybody's noticed. We've had changes in our society, our economy, government regulations, and of course, ever-changing technologies. Through all these changes, a lot of credit unions did not survive. We can be happy and proud that PSE did survive and we're healthy. We survived because of stable and progressive management. In 60 years, we've only had 2 CEOs, the first one being Dave Straight, whom we all remember, one of the founding fathers of the credit union, and our current CEO, Mrs. Jan Thomas, who's been with the credit union for about 31 years and been CEO for 25. We have a strong management team, dedicated employees, and of course, we could not exist without loyal members like yourselves. Your board of directors is a committed and cohesive board. We are committed to make decisions and policies, of course, to maintain the stability of the credit union, but also to benefit our members and accommodate your needs and wants. Sometimes a decision is made that people aren't happy with, But if you look back in your own personal lives, especially in the last decade, I'm sure some decisions were made in your families that some family members were not happy with. But you made those decisions to protect your finances and your future. And that's what the board is committed to do. We are protecting your financial needs of our large family of members. So as we continue to celebrate over the next several months our 60 years of success, we are also celebrating you, the members, for giving us your trust and support. Thank you. And I'd like to introduce Ken Netzel, the treasurer.
Good morning. Well, having not prepared any history of myself, I will basically give a brief history. Of course, leaving out any dates or number of years. But when I started teaching in the Parma school system, Dave Straight was my boss as department head at Valley Forge of the business department. And he sort of indicated that, of course, I wanted to join the credit union. And then he indicated that, don't you think you want to be on the audit committee? So that happened. Anyway, on to the treasurer's report. Our assets continue to grow from $119.3 million to $123.7 million. There was a nice growth in loans, showing an increase of approximately $4 million. We continue to show a favorable capitalization of nearly $10 million. The net loss for the year was significant. Though the volume of loans increased, the interest on those loans did not keep pace. Interest rates have been low and not producing the income needed. We can't keep losing money. Our allowance for loan losses was high. There is no insurance for this. Property tax was high as it included taxes on property in foreclosure. In addition, a higher expense came in the rewards program in our Visa program. Thank you very much, and I'll turn this over to Jan Thomas, who will give the president's report.
Thank you, Mr. Netzel. And thank you, Mrs. DeMarco, for reminding me that I also was 10 when you hired me. 31 years, wow. And I am Jan Thomas, President CEO of your credit union, and proud to be it. I've had good times, bad times, but through it all, I've always had a passion and a love for this credit union. The greatest staff, this board of directors, as I said numerous times, they sit up here, they make decisions, and they do so on a volunteer basis. Every time we have a running for the board of directors, the first question that comes out of anybody's mouth is, how much does it pay? And when I say nothing, we get nobody to volunteer to be on our board of directors or to run for the board of directors. So they give of their time and talent without any charge to us, and also knowing that they have a fiduciary responsibility to make sure this credit union runs in the best way possible. So I would like all of us to get together and thank this board for the work they do. As mentioned, this is our 60th anniversary. I've been through the 25th, the 30th, and so I just keep building up those numbers. We started back in 1955. When you think about it, it was really something phenomenal. It got a group of school teachers. Dave Straight got a group of them together and said, let's save here, and we're going to, all this money we save, we're going to give to these people to borrow. Co-op. It's a great new invention. And there was many, many credit unions starting back then. It was the thing to do, and it helped each other out. It was people helping people. So Dave started that out. And then in 1991, he handed the reins of this credit union over to me. With his faith and endorsement, I took over charge. So, celebrating our 60th anniversary, we wanted to give back to the members. We developed the 60th anniversary loan, which we had back in November, $6,000, 6% for 60 months. We did 42 loans in for over $194,000. It was really phenomenal, and we will be doing it again, which I'll mention later. We also last year continued our push for Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital, which is very dear to my heart. For those that know me, know that I had a granddaughter born at 1 pound 15 ounces that spent 50 days in the NICU. And without their great help and assistance, that little baby at 27 weeks would not have survived. So for me, it's really very personal. Over the past 4 years, we've collected $32,500. We do have tickets on sale for the baskets, which we'll be auctioning off later today. We'll have a member pick the ticket. We also, in 2015, we had been doing $7,500 as our goal. We upped it and said, okay, members, can we sell $10,000 in candy? Well, all of you came through. You bought the candy. We were able to give $10,000 in 2015 at the telethon in the beginning of November. We believe in our children. Not only the Rainbow, we have Penny, the Children's Club. It's the education of the children, the health of our children. See You Succeed for the children going into their teen years and needing that first checking account. We also hire students. I don't know if we have anybody here, but I have had many employees that started out as students and went on to be managers of this credit union. We also have shadowing. We have the kids come in and shadow different positions in the credit union. And we send our staff out for school presentations. So we are very involved in the lives of our children. In 2015, we used to have QAC, which was our indirect lending program, and we went to a company called CRIF. We found, as you'll see in the numbers, if you look from the beginning of the year till the end of the year in our loans, the CRIF program absolutely did not work. Our members weren't coming to us, so we went back to QAC and really helped us succeed in our lending last year. Now let's talk about a subject that's not everybody's favorite subject, our deluxe checking account program. I personally look for good deals, and I got to see the value in something before I'll spend my money. And when we decided we had to make a change, one reason was that the vendor that held our ID Protect program was changing its program, wasn't going to allow us to have ID Protect, and for the fact that we needed to bolster our income a little bit. So we looked at a variety of programs, and we decided on the deluxe checking account program, which is part of the EconoCheck, if you look on our website. The annual cost at $395 is $47.40. So I looked at, okay, I hear a lot of people say, $395, I absolutely not going to pay it. I don't want to do that. So I thought to myself, what can you get for $395 this time? You can get a cup of Starbucks if it's just a latte. And as my staff knows, it can really do a number on your energy level because they tried taping me to my seat. You can buy, I don't even think you get a whole pack of cigarettes for $395, and we know what cigarettes give you. Nothing good. No offense, Dave. They all hide from me. When I see any of my staff smoking, they all go the other way because I have such an aversion to the problems that smoking causes. Or you can get a Big Mac and fries. And then you can visit Dale at the clinic because it's called a heart attack on a bun. So what do you get for our $395? What we wanted to do was say, okay, if we're going to charge our members, what can we give them? Can we make this work for them? So if you first do the cashback rewards, and what you have to do, and which I do because I've been in the Premier checking account, all you have to do is take one little receipt. And if you go to Mark's, or you go to the grocery store, I guarantee you can get $100 in 3 months. You can get $100 at one time. And then you fill out this little slip that you'll get in the mail. And you put your money that you had, and you mail this with this receipt, and you'll get $10 back. You can do that 4 times a year, you get $40. So at $47.40, and you take $40 off, you're already at $7.40 for cost, or 61 cents a month. Now we have ID Protect because we wanted them to put that back in because I don't know about the rest of you, but I am always concerned about my identity. And it's not the fact that you have to pay for your Visa card or your credit card. most of us in the banking industry will take care of that money, which costs us because insurance doesn't cover it, but it's the recapturing of your identity. It's stopping the thieves from using your identity any further. So we were before charging $2 a month. So if you took that and at $24 annually, you're now $16.60 ahead. So, and if you look at any other ID program, and they're advertised, I won't name any names, but I see one that's at $9.95, I believe, a month, and it's only for one person. Ours covers the whole family. Now, Deluxe also gives you 5 additional ATM withdrawals a month. 5 at $3 times 12, $180. Now you're at $196.60 ahead of the game. So we also said, okay, what else can we put onto this? One of them that my daughter personally loved was the cell phone insurance. The company that she's through is charging her $11 a month for cell phone coverage. And you think, well, why would you have cell phone coverage? She's got an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. You have cell phone coverage because they constantly drop phones. So for her, that was one of the big things for her to do. And she's, like I said, $11. That's $121. I won't even add that in. Now you get $10,000 AD&D insurance, $500 in coupons, although I'm not a big coupon person. But I was already ahead of the game, so I don't have to worry about that. And then if you have our debit card, you're getting cash back for using our debit card. But I realize some people are going to say, I don't want all that. I don't want to sign up for anything. I don't want to turn any tickets in. I don't want to do anything. So we decided, okay, we'll have a no-fee account, the basic checking account, but we are going to ask you to do something. We still want you to use this credit union because what we have is people opening checking accounts, using it, but never really bringing money into the credit union, not getting loans, not doing anything. So we decided that for $500 a month, either ACH or direct deposit, you could have a no-charge checking account with us. And it took a lot of convincing this board, even for myself. I mean, I listened to the tape where we approved this, and I told them that the thought of having to have a checking account that I had to charge for was as painful as pulling out my toenails. I really didn't want to have to do it, because I'm from the Tri-C campuses. I came from the old school, and we didn't have to charge. It wasn't anything we needed to do. And the reality is, if this economy had changed, if we could have seen interest rates starting to go up, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. But when the interest rates are earning me on, I have a portfolio of maybe $40 million in investments, and I get maybe 23 basis points, maybe 50 basis points. I got air conditioning, I've got heating, I've got staff that I got to pay for. That's not going to pay my bills. It really is not. And we kept waiting for the economy to flip around and come back to a really healthy status so that we didn't have to go to these extents. And people say, well, get more of those loans out there. I tell you, I will have people go to the auto dealer, and for a mere $2 a month, they will not take our loan. That dealer, that finance person will convince them that they should go and get the loan from them. So, it's a very hard sell. So, of course, we had no choice, but we still think it's a good deal. We still think that overall it was the best option that we had for you. Now, coming in 2016, again, we're going to have the 6,006 days, 6%, and that's going to be from April 4th to April 9th. We're also going to introduce, I believe, April 1st, our shared branching, which is part of the Ohio Credit Union League services. And what it's going to do is open up 5,000 physical locations that you can actually go and do your banking with at other credit union offices. I know that Ohio Educational down in downtown Cleveland, they're part of the program. Firefighters is also part of the program, so I know they have an office on Broadview Road, and any of their offices you'll be able to use, as well as many, many other credit unions in the area. We're going to, again, have our 3% cash back from April 1st to May 31st, and that's if you decided to go with another place for your auto loan. We're going to give you a second chance. Bring your car back to us, and we will give you 3% of the remaining balance in cash, and you can get a great rate also with us. We'll also be having many other loan specials throughout this year. Now we have our Concierge Award. We had 2 very deserving staff members. Both of them were in our Strongsville office, Nikki Buchko and Wendy Cater. Nikki runs the front desk there as the head teller, and she has been very phenomenal and also assisting me when I was short-staffed out in Medina, filled in and helped us out. Wendy Cater is one of those tellers that you always get the compliments on. You know, gosh, Wendy's so nice. Gosh, Wendy helped me out. Gosh, Wendy was so pleasant to work with. So she was given the Concierge Award from the credit union this past year. Now my management team. Nobody does this job alone, and I certainly couldn't. I have, as my vice presidents, Vice President of Operation, Dave Leuenberger, Vice President of Finance, Peggy Cook, Vice President of Lending, Cheryl Schill. My right hand, my left hand, Deanne Sandley, she helps me out in my office. Tabitha Bazinski runs this whole show, and thank you, Tabitha, for all the hard work that you did here. Sabrina Diagiovanni runs the main line, and many, as she runs the back office with payroll, and certainly she's been with us a long time, too. I think, did you come as a student? No, I did not. No. Jessica did. I think Jess did, didn't she? Everybody knows Jessica if you come to the main office. Marguerite Nagy runs the Miss Strongsville office, and Sherry Smith runs Medina, and Marilyn Subsansky probably could run the credit union because I think she's been here longer than I have, so we won't say how many years you've been here, huh, Marilyn? And I want to thank them. I appreciate all your efforts, staff. We have also the staff that runs the show, the ones that are working downstairs, the ones that take all the heat, the ones that had to hear all the complaints about what we did this year, the ones that said, yes, you're right, terrible, 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 I'll tell the CEO, but she's the one and he's the one on the front line taking all the issues and having to not take it to heart and realize that it's just people venting and they really don't mean to offend anybody down there. And last but not least, our members. For all of you who have stayed with us, that have remained loyal to this credit union, I thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. We can't do it without you. If we're going to be in business for the next 60 years, you need to be with us. You need to spread the word that this is still the place to do your business, that we still have great deals. Will I always beat every deal in town? No, but on the basic, overall, we're really a good deal. If you have a Visa card somewhere else, bring it over. Use our programs. We need you to use our programs to stay in business. I want to thank you very much for your loyalty, and I hope that we will all have a very healthy and prosperous 2016 so that we can see a very positive bottom line next year. Thank you.
I'd like to bring up now Cheryl Schill, Vice President of Lending.
Good morning. They might have been 10 when they started here. I'm just going to say I was 12. Okay. I've been here actually 21 years, so I'm a proud member and proud to serve you. And I see some of you out here that I have helped, and I'm very grateful for your loyalty. The full loan report is in the annual meeting booklet, but let's talk about 2015. We brought in over $19 million in total loans, and that was an increase of $6.5 million over last year. We helped almost 800 members get into the car of their dreams, obtain necessary means of transportation to and from work, or get a second car, a classic car, an ATV, jet ski, and even a few snowmobiles. We put more student Visa cards into the hands of our younger members, increased more lines of credit, putting one of our Visa cards at the top of your wallet with 3.99% balance transfers or double points on our rewards cards. We declined fewer members and maintained strong relationships with our indirect lending partner QAC, Woodside Mortgage, and many vendors who enable us to provide products such as extended warranties, which you can purchase even if you don't finance your car with us, gap coverage for the theft or accident totaling your car, and debt protection, to name a few. We focused on rebuilding credit for some members by offering a one-year credit rebuilder loan with payments under $100. We helped you with home improvements and vacations with our Spring Fling promotion and got you or your children back in the classroom with the Fall Back to School promotion. Our Black Friday loan and skip-a-pay offers continue to grow in popularity because they help fill a need during the hectic and sometimes stressful December holidays. Thank you for your loyalty, continued support of all of our products and services. Please stop and visit us on Lending Lane because we are here for you. Thank you.
Good morning. Bill Borquin is chairperson of the Audit Committee. Member is Jeff Taylor, who's here with us this morning, and the other member, besides myself, is Tom Scheiman. The Audit Committee certifies that the financial statement fairly represents the financial position of the credit union and the results of its operation are in conformity with generally accepted accounting principles. The committee retains GPQ Partners to perform an annual audit of PSE Credit Union's books and records. Dave?
I believe there's no unfinished business from last year, so I would like to move on to new business for this year and bring up Darlene DeMarco for the dividends. Bob Bolton, I'm sorry. Sorry, Bob.
The board has approved the dividends as posted on the website. Now, who's next? Oh,
Results of the election.
Mrs. Beggy again.
Since the available positions on the board of directors were uncontested, balloting was not necessary for this year. Elected to serve 3-year terms are, incumbents Dale McMahon, Dave Tates, and Bob Vessel. Darlene?
Okay, I'd like to present our chair, Dave Tates, a little gift of appreciation for his leadership over the past year. Here you go, Dave. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, if there's no further business to conduct here today, I would like a motion to adjourn the meeting. We have one and a second. All in favor? Okay, once again, thank you everybody for attending. We appreciate it.